We are recording. Where are we? We are in Staten Island. We're with Ron Maestro. He's going to be starting up a new podcast called Real People, Real Stories with Ron Maestro. Hopefully we're hearing this well. I got a microphone in the middle. Ron is right across from me. And let's talk about it. What are we doing? When are we launching? How long? How far are we? What are we going to do?
I got to do it today.
Okay, so there's the name of it.
Yes, that's the name of it, and it's going to be basically having people like yourself to have a story behind them to talk about, and then we're going to go probably towards all different topics, from like anything with sports, anything with music, anything that's going on topics of the day.
All right, there's something very important that you got to kick off with. 7 decades.
7 decades.
7 decades. Go ahead.
Yes, my uncle, before he passed away at 70. So he had almost 7 decades of life. So in his lifetime, we're going to go from every 10 years, we're going to tell you how he started his life.
That's Johnny Maestro. That's Johnny Maestro's
right,
story.
Johnny Maestro, we're going to do each decade of his life until his passing. And then when he gets discovered, when he's...
So 70 years, 7 decades.
Where
a show for each decade.
Where he grew
Just
up.
break it down into all the happenings in those days.
The background story.
That's going to be great.
The origins of Johnny Maestro.
So that's going to be the kickoff, basically.
Right.
You're going to start with that?
Right.
So it's going to start with that. Great story. Everybody, I'm sure you all heard of Ronnie Maestro.
His stories are good.
Johnny Maestro on the Brooklyn Bridge and all of that. So the crest and all of that.
Oh, man.
There's a lots of stories. We can go, you and I could talk about this for 5 hours right now. But we're not going to do that. So
Right.
So that's the whole idea of this little show right here. I don't know when you're watching this right now. We are recording it, and then we're gonna pop it out live, and you'll be able to be in the chat and ask questions, and then we will kind of have the YouTube channel set up by the time this is airing, and then we'll have that link for you.
We're going to do a premiere with me in there to be answering questions.
Yeah, you'll be in the chat.
I might even think about putting myself in there to do the talking live.
Well, this is it.
No, I'm saying that premiere will be there.
This is gonna. We're doing this now.
Okay.
They're hearing us talk about this right now.
Oh, okay.
We're live right now. We're live recording it right now.
We're live right now.
Now you guys are live right. They're live right now. As they're watching this, they're live right now, which can be 7 o'clock tomorrow night. We don't know what we're doing.
We'll be in the chat.
You're going to be in the chat with us. You and I are going to both be in the chat. So that's how it's all working. So you're going to be there answering questions, dropping your link in my show to launch your show.
We'll pick a few questions out of the chat, and we'll answer.
So what other? Well, let's do it. What made you come up with this? What made you want to do this?
Just something different. People are always talking about all stuff that's kind of like recycled. We want to do something that's not recycled.
You think his story's lost in space?
I think. I don't think he gets enough recognition in his genre of music, but I think what happens is because he's such a humble person. He didn't look for people to talk to him afterwards. You would never even know the guy was singing unless he was on stage.
He would just be like a regular guy. Yeah. Wow.
He was really like a humble guy.
So it's coming from obviously firsthand knowledge of you witnessing it all happen and being a part of it.
Well, when he was younger, he was very quiet.
Yeah.
So when he first was discovered with the crests, they were just singing in the subway.
Well, apparently a lot of people that go on stage are.
Right.
A lot of them are actually quiet.
Right. That's how they get themselves.
That's when they.
Yeah. Right. They open up like that.
When they get on stage.
Yeah. When he went on stage, it wasn't him.
Whole different person.
Oh.
Just transformed.
It was a gift.
It's a gift he had. So he turned the switch on basically when he went on stage. That's crazy.
Well, he still sang this whole time. He never really did anything bad. He always took care of his voice.
Yeah. Wow.
So basically, all those years that he was singing, he still had a voice coach. He still had things like that. He always took care of his voice.
Never abused it.
My aunt was always like all over him with that. He always had herbal teas.
Really?
It's a funny thing, when he was on stage, he used to keep a lozenge in his cheek while he's singing. So when this song broke, we had a break, he'd lubricate his throat.
See, who would even know that?
Right. So
nobody would, maybe a singer would know. Is that a thing?
I don't know. So but that's why I learned that over the years. But how does he not dry out? Because he does a lot of high tones,
So that's not the only reason for this thing that you're doing.
Right.
This YouTube channel. We say podcast. There's a gazillion.
Yeah, podcast.
We are channels. This is what we are. You're a YouTube channel. But there's other things. You want to talk about other things.
Right. want to do like music videos, what people think about them, if they're the new versus the new stuff, and why certain people in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that aren't in there.
Beautiful. You got great topics.
Do you think that like rap should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or should have their own Hall of Fame? Do you think that like one hit wonders? It's pretty much politics with that stuff.
It's great. So centered around music.
Centered around music, and then obviously centered around like other things that go on in life with regular people. A regular person.
Well, that's what you're calling it. Real people, real stories. So it's
right.
The core of it is obviously
right.
what's dear to your heart, which is obviously your family.
Right. If you see like a fireman,
yeah,
all like first
hey,
responders, the trade center when it fell down, things like talk about that stuff.
Good. Just a variety of topics.
If you just be a story about a guy that had a tragedy, you talk about that.
Anything.
But at least give somebody an idea that regular people are out there still.
Wow. What gave you the courage to want to do something like this? Watching other guys do it, watching us do it. What made you say? You obviously you're a longtime viewer of a lot of shows.
Right, I am. Yeah.
A lot of different.
It's a sickness, I guess.
A lot of different genres, so to speak. A lot of different vibes. A lot of different types of channels. I guess you analyze the way people do it.
I enjoy things, like.
But are you analyzing the way people do it, the way they carry
I'm watching
themselves?
everybody do it, and I'm trying to figure out how to go about it where it doesn't come off like cheesy. I want to make it where you'll get information out of this that you'll remember, not forget after I say it.
That's great. So you're learning from what you're seeing.
Right.
What to do and what not to do.
Right.
Wow. That's great.
Like a lot of times when I watch you or I watch the other guys, I like the one thing you do is you put the bullet points that keeps you on track.
Well,
no, it's a lot of people don't do that. Well, you have to be on track. I know that. But the thing is, it's a good idea.
Wow. All right. I like it. It's good.
I want to have a guest on here and there. I like private
Look
guests.
where we are right now.
Right.
We're in your basement.
Right.
We're in Staten Island.
Yeah.
So
my little hangout.
You are the voice, and your guest can be right in this chair where I'm sitting.
Exactly.
And that's totally fine. I was, for a while, I'm not going to lie to you, I was negative about not being on camera. But then you think about it. How much success do these people have on the radio?
Oh, yeah, right.
You never saw their face.
All the disc jockeys.
All the disc jockeys.
Talk radio.
10 wins.
Yeah, right.
10 wins.
That's exactly right.
You know them. They're getting the story to you. They are getting it through to you. The only thing you might not, here's what I think you don't get from not being on camera. Trying to teach somebody something. Trying to get something through to somebody. It's very difficult to do that without being on camera.
You're right.
What you're doing is, let's just say Casey Kasem did it on the radio for 100 years, right? He made you feel it. He gave you the backstory to the, what did he do? Countdown every week on 770, right? So you heard that, and it was fine. Even Howard Stern on audio.
That's right. Howard Stern did that, right? But you know what's funny about it?
Limbaugh, the best.
Yeah, right.
But you did. But they had a talent.
Yeah, well, they had a whole production behind them too.
But they still had the gift.
Oh yeah, well they have something that everybody recognized and is associated with. And actually, he made them love them. They know how to make people want to see them
in a verbal way.
They know how to tell a story like you're there.
It's unbelievable. What a talent that is.
It is hard
to get your point across without seeing expression.
Right, and then on top of it, to engage with people properly, you have to let people talk. That's my problem. I got to slow that down.
Well, you're going to be doing most of the talking, which is you do it.
I'm saying that it's hard.
And we know he does that very well.
I talk a lot.
He's going to be doing most of the talking. So
hopefully I don't flick anything over the ball on me.
No, you'll be all right. You'll be good. All right, listen. I want to talk about behind me.
Go ahead.
What do we got here?
Basically, it's an antique signs.
I'm pointing at one picture. What is this?
Oh,
I can't see it that well.
Joe DiMaggio.
Joe D, right there.
Yep.
Wow. It's my girl's extended family.
Is it?
They're related.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, what's over here? I can't see it that well.
That's Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth. Wow.
And if you see up above them, there's the plates that those what do they call those?
You can see one. What are they?
They're up in the corner, right?
Yeah, what are they?
To your left is Joe DiMaggio, and the top one, and then on the right over there is Mickey Mantle.
Beautiful. Okay, you got Coca-Cola. I'm gonna step aside for a minute because
the Coca-Cola goes to my uncle.
Drift.
My uncle owned the Coca-Cola routes over in Little Italy.
Really?
I have stories, dude.
I know you do. So you see, you just had one. Okay, so you got all the draft Draft handles.
the taps.
Wow, where did they all come from? A bar?
You know what?
Anywhere? You ordered them? What specific?
I have like my uncle
Got
and them
people everywhere.
They own their own distributing company.
On
so-
their routes, they just
Yeah,
gave
just
it to
give-
you. Wow, it's nice. So this is a good backdrop. You could speak from where you're at and have the camera going here.
Yeah.
You can have me, you know.
And then anybody has any advice, I like to hear too. You know, the opinions and maybe what they look better or nicer.
I think you mentioned the call-in number.
The call number, I
Are you going to think about doing
I have
that?
a number to give. I have a number to give.
So eventually, that's later on. But call-in number, because believe it or not, you're
It's
going to
very-
have people that you're going to have older people that are going to love here. They're going to catch on to this story.
I know
They're not going to know how to do all of this typing stuff.
exactly. They're old school.
They're old school guys. You're going to get a 80-year-old man that has no
And
idea
it's
how
the right
to
way
do
to do it
this.
though, because then you get them to hear. You can hear them.
You'll hear them,
You can ask the question personally.
and you'll have
If
them on.
they can't do the panel stuff, we can do the call.
Yeah, they can't. Well, they don't even, remember to
They
type
can't-
in the
yeah.
chat. You got to sign up.
That's true.
They don't know what to
they'll probably be
Google.
on. They'll just want to call something that's easy.
Yeah, they'll watch it. Listen,
I
they'll
actually
watch.
like that idea because you know what? It's everybody's so much into these phones. They don't even look up when they're talking.
That's true. It's just listening.
No, when it like if you have somebody on a panel,
Oh.
and they look at their phone,
Oh no, that's
no good.
Okay. No. What I mean is, you're going to have 80. Obviously, your uncle,
yeah,
older,
the older
and you're going to get an older crowd. They're not setting up a Google account to type
No.
in your chat, but they have questions that they want to ask.
right.
Or you don't know. You might have a stagehand that sees your show.
Right. What happened to me one time?
You
with
have a
Frankie
young
Valli. I
stagehand.
told you how many Frankie Valley, right?
What?
I was with my wife. We went to the King's Theater in Brooklyn. Frankie Valley was one of the first acts playing there when it was remodeled. you know.
Okay.
So I actually walked in there and I went to look around. I was just mesmerized by the way they recreated this place. Frankie Valley had a merchandise area where he sold stuff. The woman says to me, she yells at my name. She goes, Ronnie. I go, I forgot her name, but she goes, hey, what's up? She goes, well, after your uncle died, I started working for Frankie. So she mentioned that I was in the audience. Frankie sent somebody from backstage to get me and my wife. Night, and he had such kind words. He was
That's a
really
good guy.
He was, oh man.
He's a wonderful guy. He's a humble guy.
He said that my uncle and him and Jay Black used to hang all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he said your uncle, the most humble guy out there. Was always saying.
He was.
Frankie too.
Cared about it. No, Frankie cared about his.
His friends.
He moved to California for his voice.
Is that what you said? That
He didn't leave the neighborhood to leave the
what was that
neighborhood.
about? Because of the humidity.
The vocals.
Right.
And I think he took an hour shower every day.
Oh, in 1 month.
He found where the air is good
He knew how to work it.
and how long did it
Well,
work.
his voice is. My uncle's, Frankie's, they would just. Their voice was, recognizable easily when they sang.
So I don't know if it was fame and fortune that moved him out to California, but from what I understand, it's more to it than just getting rich and moving away.
Well, he started doing movies.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Well, down there, it's all the production down
Yeah,
there.
it's
Too.
all the production. So, all right. So, anything else? So you touched
No,
on
I
a
want
couple.
to thank
Of
Tommy
different,
for helping me with everything.
we touched
Appreciate
on
it.
a couple of different topics of what the podcast or YouTube channel is going to be about, and I don't know. maybe
Anybody has any
We'll
opinions?
set up
I wouldn't mind having any input. Too.
set up your first recording in a couple of weeks. Get it going.
I'll
We'll
have
start it
I'll
up.
have my first one coming out, and Tommy will be helping me out with that.
Of course, we'll do it right here, Staten Island. That's where we are. We're on Staten Island today. I had a nice sandwich,
What do you think?
prosciutto,
You like
fresh
it?
mozzarella, and broccoli up from a place called Anthony's.
Yeah, show it.
Pen,
This place is unbelievable. guys.
Paninoteca. Paninoteca.
He's right here where I live. That guy makes one of the best food.
Great stuff. All right, my man. You good?
I'm good, man.
We're out, guys. So you're probably watching this on the live. It's going to be a short one. This is 13, 14, 15 minutes. But we wanted to get to the point. Again, we're launching real people, real stories with Ron Maestro. Let's see what else we got. Look out for that YouTube channel and hit subscribe. And you're going to enjoy it, I promise you. All right, we're out.